Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Kudos Bank Arena. And they say that legacies are only reserved for the victors. And right now, SK and Faze are trying to do just that. Build on the legacy. For SK, it was a huge 2016 as the best Counter-Strike team in the world. And for Faze, now they must build theirs from scratch, and they have been doing so. We're 2-1 in the series so far. It is not over yet. Faze have avoided the complete sweep, the 0-3 up against SK Gaming. But from here on out, it gets even more interesting. Overpass, our next map of this series, and this is a curious one. There's a lot of history, especially where SK is concerned on this particular pick.
Absolutely. I mean, this is a map that these teams have not played that much on LAN. To be fair, since they made the roster changes, we only had 2-3 LAN tournaments, basically. So for Faze, because of the nature of their rivalry with Astralis, they always veto it in that series, and that's something that we've seen a lot recently. So they only have 1 win and 1 loss on the map, the loss being to Astralis at IEM Katowice. On the other side of things, SK, I actually saw them live play this map in Kiev against G2, and they did lose by a big margin, but that was just G2 playing a very, very aggressive style on the CT side, especially mid-round. So that might be a way for Faze to also approach this game.
Yeah, that's a really interesting point right there. Like, if the aggression comes in from Faze against SK, how are they going to deal with it? I don't really see Faze being as unrelenting with this aggression. Something which with Faze that I noticed from the Katowice game was how well they prepared for Astralis' defaults, right? They were knowing that Dupree and Kyobi were going to come through the pipe into water, be short. They were setting up double nades for that kind of area. They were flush pushing Zipnix, knowing that he was going to be the only one in the backyard when they're doing a default, really isolating players. And if they're going to bring that in against SK, something they could possibly do is try and control that connector area, because on the SK CT side, they really like to play I guess it's still aggression, right? They send a player down there to throw a smoke and try and delay a lot of time, because connector is the key to this map. It's so easy to fake once you have control of that. You can basically do whatever you want. And SK like to delay that, they like to be in there, they like to fight. And I think it's normally Phelps or Fur, the two guys who are playing around that area, and they're not easy players to stop.
Yeah, who would have thought them being the first guys
right?
being aggressive? But yeah, obviously connector very important. We saw that from in that Optic game, actually. SK managing to use even a couple of fakes, because you kind of, when you play passive as Optic did in that game, you saw what happened to them. They got completely demolished. So you had that on one side. On the other side, the Kiev game against G2. Obviously, aggression is key, but not just at the beginning of the round. You also need to try and sense when they're going mid-round, go for that monster retake, you know, pop flash. The same thing they did against Astralis. Because of Zipex, they can do that to SK, because that's mostly where Taco or Phelps are playing from.
This is a map, there's so much history and so much to consider on, but the players are already ready to go. SK now want to close this series. They want to be done with it, but Faze Clan are here to stop them. They're here to take it to all 5. Let's jump in now with Henry G and Sadakist.
Overpass does get very interesting. Thank you, Mitch. I think it is going to be a matter of survival at this point in time. SK need 1 map. This was a best of 3. They're done, but this is far from over now.
Absolutely. Overpass, I have to say, I do favor towards SK Gaming, but Faze, they finally arrived in the grand final. Ladies and gentlemen, the 4th map of the grand final so far, Faze Clan versus SK Gaming. Let's make some noise as we get into this one. T-side start for SK, 4 sets of armor and fallen, flashbangs and the Molotov. Normally favoring towards that B side, that's where they'll be heading initially. Whether that full execution comes in, yet to be seen. As we get into this phase, we'll be pushing up towards middle as well. That's Rain, hunting for information.
It's Fur that's going to go out and pass Rain. I think he may have heard him. Rain certainly turned his attention more toward the fountain, but Fur's actually gone all the way in behind them. Problem is, who's going to get the information first? There it is, Rain. Very smart. What a shot, too, from that range. And Rain, I thought that was, excuse me, Keo hitting another one, but Rain getting that instantly confirms that he's the only one over toward A, so they get ready and set toward the B push. Nico gets up inside of the window. The shots go in toward the site. They dance in behind the pillar, and they will get a bomb plant out of it, which is a decent position to be in if Taco especially can hold off Rain, who gets another good headshot. Phelps has come closer to the doorway as well to hold this position, and Rain's not going to see him jumping down. He'll switch over to the USP, and they just need to watch inside of the site, which they've done successfully.
Like we said, that B site favored usually by SK Gaming. They lose the initial frag, but it's all for naught really. Phaeton can't hold the B side push. 1 frag coming in their favor. That's about it. SK Gaming bomb down, looked very comfortable at that point, holding off the flanks. Taco got taken down to the squeaky door, but his teammate Phelps picked up the pieces, and we find that 1-0 here for SK. Certainly favored on Overpass generally, but we'll see what happens as Faze Clan bring the force by, and they've been formidable, to say the least, with these pistols. Deagle's, CZ's armor as well. Alu, for once, I like that. I discussed this so much about this particular player. The fact he always force buys with his teammates. Usually, for once, he's actually just taken a full eco here. We know the orb's essential for the success of Faze, so he'll be absolutely having that as an option going into that first gun round, regardless of the outcome of this. First kill for Fur. Kiyoshima pushes offshore.
Taco getting back inside of the construction position. Alu's stuck in behind barrels. Doesn't have anything thrown toward him just yet to push him from this position. It will be slow and steady with a three-man boost coming in. We're going to see something old but still creative. And they're going to get one. Easily done. Alu up late. They thought it was already clear, and they catch off for I love it.
Yeah, I love that boost as well. That's always really cool to see. Overpass got lots of little tricks like that. Rain chimes in as well. Takes down Fallen. Now they've got a fighting chance in this one. The man advantage. Unable to recover any weaponry as of yet. But, oh, okay, Alu. That was a great opportunity. But quickly taken down by Taco equals the situation. And they will be ending up potentially towards B. Still have 30 seconds. They could run back to A if they really want to. But it looks like B will be the final commitment as Phelps finds a rotating player. But Nico's here with the Deagle.
Wow. And Rain's got Taco. Are they really going to answer this? You said a missed chance inside of the side earlier. Taco turned around and thwarted it. Imagine they'd already grabbed that. Phelps really wants the AK. He's so low, though, and Nico's ready for it. The Deagles work. Look at them, 6 and 2. And it goes 1-1.
Every single time. Faze so deadly with the Desert Eagles. Rain and Nico, that's a scary combination. They managed to deliver headshots left, right, and center. 1-1. Faze can pull one back. Of course, though, SK will be force buying in return. There are no slouches with the pistols themselves. Tech-9 speed 50s, Phelps with the UMP as well. In terms of the Faze buy, they managed to bring an AK from the previous round. Alu with the M4 and 3 UMPs around him. We're going to go for a B-side play once again. Some aggression from the CTs from what I can see there towards shore. That's Kiyoshima and Carrigan pushing off. Going to have a Molotov towards the short tunnel as well. They have full control there. Flashbangs coming in and Carrigan to find the first frag.
Decent pickup, Cold. Gets 2 back with the Tech-9. He's still in this, but he's lost his teammate Taco. As Nico, partially blind, just barely gets his vision back in time to catch off Fallen as well. And Cold should be the next in line, but the Tech-9 still doing damage. 1 HP. He's got a hat trick.
That's not bad at all. Cold Zera has been great so far in the grand final. Had a good tournament overall, to be fair. And it's a 2 versus 1. Unlikely he can win this, but it is Cold Zera. Minute to play over as well. Bomb on his back, smoke and a Molotov. Uses the ladder. Great, certainly a potential in this situation. So we'll be going very slowly and methodically.
Checking everywhere. Has to be perfect in his element of surprise. And the shots as well. And to be perfect on the shots with the Tech-9, he's got to get close. A challenge in itself. As Rain sits by the truck, he should be able to spot this. He's considering both angles. Yeah, their backside shown. He has peeked this twice previously. Since he's been on approach, he could actually get close. Yeah, there it is. I was going to say, Rain was doing that every so often. So.
Yeah.
He looked back again that direction.
It's just the fact he just checked it and didn't spot Cold Zera. There was like a 10-second window. If he gets a little bit quick, potentially, he could have found Rain and maybe a bomb plant, and who knows what could have happened at that stage. But not meant to be. Faze managed to convert the force buy from SK Gaming to a victory towards themselves. 2-1 now, and it should be an eco this stage for the Brazilian side. This is map number 4. It's starting to warm up now and turn into what could be a really fantastic grand final. Glocks, P250s, and aggressive play once again. Alu. Then forward towards middle. Kiyoshima reading the economy well, of course. He's got the MP9 and a bounce extra cash. Rain spots first contact. Can't find a kill just yet, and he'll be falling back. He doesn't want to give anything away.
Smart to do so. Fallen tried to find an alternative angle. He gets dropped down as Faze will find 3 straight rounds after winning the eco, and SK will not do much against this with just the Glocks bomb down as well at the bottom of the mid stairs. Or the fountain stairs, I should say, not to confuse you with the actual connector stairs. Going out as well to make sure they keep a guard on that bomb. No need to get aggressive, but just sit with multiple angles so as not to be surprised by anything such as a deagle. Obviously, we know there isn't one. They don't. Speaking of, they'll swap over to it running out of ammo, and there's Nico slipping up.
Nice little shot that down Fur. Technical stuff from Faze, 5 players surviving. This is where things start to get interesting, though. 3-1 in favor of Faze, but another buy for the Brazilian side. I'm not sure the AWP is available. Fallen has not got a weapon. It might be dropped and spawned for him. We'll find out momentarily. It's round number 5 here. Fallen, there it is. He does have the AWP, so that's been dropped for him. No AWP for Alu just yet. He's obviously going to be holding on to the M4 until he has to get rid of it. Try and hold on to this momentum. Cash honest as we get into this one. It's going to be aggressive play towards long from what I can see. That's Rain behind the rock position, trying to find that first frag. He's got the AK-47, one-tap potential. Kerrigan, this is interesting. Audacious, some might say as well. Gets away with just about. Does a little bit of damage towards Taco, but takes quite a lot himself. Down to 46 HP.
Taco, Keo will back off as well immediately after. Good play, good opening up. As Cold and Fallen slowly, at 20, just get their way past Fountain now with Fallen trying to take over top of middle. Goes on scope for a moment. Alu's close enough that he could be able to hear this at this point in time as Rain's going to continue to anchor off toward tree.
4. Taco goes down. It seemed like there's a full-on shot through the smoke as well. It's a ding, not too much damage there through the door. Alu now going to be challenged, and challenged indeed as Coldzera finds him 4-4.
Very smart from Cold to stop up. Doesn't need to shoulder peek. The shadow actually gave it away, and Alu tried to pre-fire. So Rain's turned his attention back away from long to cover this off, and he's called for Nico to support him. As he does that, though, it opens up the mouth of the site. And Phelps starts to try and clear out truck. Pre-fire into the corner to confirm that it is clear. That'll signal for the two players at long to head back. Phelps knows they're likely to be there. Smoke goes down. It's not thrown from him, but it's thrown very wide. I believe Cold threw it from across near flower pots. Either way, it's enough to have confidence to plant the bomb for Phelps. It could have been risky as Fur finds Kerrigan on the flank, and Nico is burning as he tries to beat them inside of their own smoke, tries to get them off in position, which means Phelps gets caught in turn because of it. He goes down to 6 and then dies out as Nico stays on 28.
Oh!
Fallen nails Rain immediately on arrival from the bank, and Fur wrapping around will catch off Nico. That should be the round. 1 versus 3. Kia won't be able to do much. They are close enough by, but he's still not ready for it.
Back and forth round there. Seemed like Nico might have done just enough there through the smoke as he took a lot of damage with that Molotov, like he said. They tried to deny the plant from long. Incendiary thrown just over the top of it, hit the bushes, and can't do anything about it. So 3-2, SK do pull one back. There's 3 rounds in a row there for Faze after losing the pistol as well, so that was very impressive by them. And now the AWP comes out for Alu. Another map there he's very scary on indeed. The AWP is traditionally want to be very aggressive, try to push towards monster tunnel, short, middle, long, so many different options for them. This will be a fantastic battle. 2 titans going at it, Fallen and Alu.
Flashes go out as well for Fallen as he starts to clear. No boost for aggression at long. We often see that tree boost. Cold, oh, they're gonna go slide boost, even better. I was gonna say they do tree to see long. They use slide boost to spot the party. There's so much. I gotta give it to Valve. I hated this map at first, but we always see these clever little tactics come out.
Yeah, like every few months, something new comes into the fray. It's always such an exciting one to cast.
That one's not particularly new, just to be clear. But as example, there's always stuff like that available.
Yeah, we discussed that. IEM Katowice, Navi, and Luminosity game, this very team. And there's so many amazing sick boosts were coming into that. It's actually a cool map for that sort of stuff. But towards long we go. Pretty standard round so far from SK, running the timer down like we said. They still got their smokes available, 4 of those. Long control coming in as well. Rain patrolling that position, but he's very deep in the bomb site here. Alu, the AWP, watches middle.
He's backed up so that he doesn't have to run up the stairs or make that jump he just did while under pressure. Limits his angle slightly, but Fur toward long. He's going to wait to see who wins the battle directly, and Alu's going more aggressive. He's waiting for Flash potentially to go over. Cold wins against Rain, but Alu catches off Phelps as they line up toward the smokes. He knows where they're thrown from, so he wants to beat them to the punch. Getting shots in, he's not even sure where from as they fire in through the wall, and they'll eventually hunt him down. It's Keo that rotates over, starts it well. And he looks out towards long, but looks away at exactly the wrong time.
Yeah.
Leaving Kerrigan with a UMP against 3 players. Has a kit to work with. But I'm not sure what his chances are, what he considers here. I don't know if there's a gun down toward bank that he's after.
This is a very tall order. 3 players to 100 HP, the bomb down, smoked out, no nades. Going towards bank. Just trying to do damage at this point. I think he knows he can't win the round.
He could survive bottom stairs here at 100 HP, and there's a gun, I think, on the inside of yellow boxes that if the bomb goes off will be blown toward him.
Oh, Alu found 1 kill in that exchange, but Kiyashima so much in front of him, so many different angles to watch. Finds 1 kill in the middle, but shut down from long. A nice clean round.
No way. Come on, Kerrigan. No way.
No, he's going to tackle.
Yeah, he's got it. No, he doesn't. Taco! He's too far away.
They've done it!
Oh my God, Kerrigan, that's amazing! That is amazing. He's on his feet.
speechless.
That was in the last tick.
Pause.
Nico calls a pause.
Yeah, he does. Let them stew on that for a little bit. Carrigan. UMP looked like he was just trying to pick up a weapon, you were right, and he comes in for the ninja defuse. That's a classic play from him in the grand final. Doesn't get much better than that. 3 versus 1, and what a call. Tactical pause, let them just argue and work out what went wrong. I thought it was over. I thought, okay, Taco's in bathroom, he's gonna check it. We could see him coming back on the minimap. I wasn't getting too excited at that point. And then as time went on, like you said, the angle wasn't quite there, and it slips away. Oh, that's gutting.
Taco could have gone out the front door bathrooms and had the angle. He chose to run up the lane inside, and he didn't get there in time.
Oh dear, oh dear.
That's incredible. I still wasn't, the reason I wasn't getting overly excited is because I wasn't sure he even had the time to begin with, but he nailed that. That was perfect. No business winning that round, and they go 4-2. And like you say, grand final, those rounds could be massive. Thankfully, it doesn't break SK's economy, because then it has twice the effect.
They come back into it. They did save, obviously, 3 weapons there. Carrigan getting into it now. Aggressive that UMP. Incendiary towards the T-steps, and Rain's backing him up. This is aggressive stuff from the FaZe clan. 4-2 as Carrigan stole the round away, but it's called there to open things up. Takes down the aforementioned legend of the previous round. 5-on-4, yet the UMP was trying to do some damage initially, but gives his kill away. So he do need to be careful after the reinvestment. This round would mean a double eco if he goes against him with no one surviving. SK though, like we said, they're methodical, they're an experienced team, these things do happen. We've seen it many times in big games, probably about 6 occasions I can think of these big ninja defuses. Not necessarily in grand finals, I have to say, but they do happen every now and then. 5-4 now, no kits available for FaZe. No nades as well, just 1 flashbang, that's it. They've lost track of the SK side, they're not sure what they're going to do. So at this point, he needs to take a gamble. Someone needs to flash over, needs to take control, maybe short, push up towards long. It looks like they'll be going for the former as Nico heads towards that position. Stacking mainly towards the B side of the map. They're boosting up, that's the reaction at this point. See whether they can maybe get a kill towards short. But it's long is the main area of attack for SK Gaming. Still having 4 smokes here, and the double offset on the T side. That's quite uncommon, I have to say. Let's see if it works out for them.
Well, the Ninja's gone this round. Get rid of him early.
Yeah, please do.
The other nifty part about that was that he spotted a player from bank stairs and then switched to get closer. Talk about an opportunist. Alu gets in the corner, perfect denial spot, sees the jump shadow coming around the corner, and he's gonna see a second one for Fallen, who plays a game of cat and mouse. 8 seconds as Fallen hits a brilliant shot onto Alu. That'll allow the bomb plant. Nico wants to get back in position, but he's late to do so. Inside of the smoke though, I don't think they saw him get here. So Fallen's gonna babysit the bomb. Nico doesn't know it. He thinks that the player he saw going to his left was Fallen. I don't think he's gonna be expecting someone to be immediately on the bomb itself, and they're already backing off. They may try and go for the save. How did he realize that late? That's quite good from Nico, and they'll stick around for more as a result of it. Late smoke comes in from long, immediate trade. There's no kits left though. This time Ninja's even less likely as they grab the op, and that signal they're gone.
Well, that round could have been shut down by Alu. It comes down once again. 10 seconds remaining before SK make their final commitment to that A site. If Fallen doesn't hit that shot on Alu, like even if he doesn't go down, if he doesn't kill Alu there, they can't win the round. He hits the headshot, close range of course. He's been doing that all tournament, and they answer back. Good news for FaZe though. Yes, they get fully reset, but they saved 2 weapons, one of which was Fallen's AWP. This is the shot. We didn't see it from his POV. I want to see if this is the no-scope. Oh, goodness, it was indeed the headshot. And there was 4 seconds remaining win for that plant. That's such a small little nuance of Counter-Strike, and it's so cool to see it work out in that sort of manner. So we go into round number 8, 4-3. This one's going the distance, man. I can feel it already. This has been a brawl so far. CZs, Deagles, and the saved orb.
And SK get a bit fortunate to win the ensuing round after that, Ninja, because this will set back and you can see it in the money. FaZe considerably as Carrigan is limited to a CZ75. There's a better look at it exactly. If they do win this, if they do pick it up, same in reverse. Well, it's all down. Rain won't be able to push any further than where he is on the stairs at the moment. It's Fallen, Cold, and Fur. They're trying to get vision with another little boost toward the top of the stairwell, and it's Fallen's AWP. They're trying to get the vision for. Rain's gonna have to be careful, because even if he swings back to try and take the players at top middle, Phelps is down below, but he doesn't even consider it, which is a huge problem, because if they hunt him down, Rain's able to turn and take Cold, and they get a 3rd kill, slightly off camera, but enough to make this a huge problem. Nico inside the smoke, he's dissolved as well. That's brilliant, and he turns to get Fur.
Oh, wow. Now this is getting fun. Faze with the force by their CZs, UMPs, Rain going to town in the connector, finds two, and Nico. Just an absolute nuisance there with a close range AWP through the smoke to finish things off as well. A clean sweep, 5 players surviving. Now they're starting to get established. Is this another force fight from SK Gaming? It is indeed. They do not want to allow Faze to get into this game as we go into round number 9. 2 AKs and 3 pistols. And it looks like a full B-sided attack. Running through the flames, Phelps want to shut down any aggression from the short area. This has to be the execution. That's all I can see the only option to be. Phelps gives away that he's only got a Tech 9. Smokes will be coming in from the CT side to lock them out for a little bit longer, but they're going to go through it.
Smokes down, Kiyoshima. Can't quite land the shot on Phelps, who manages to get traded out by Kerrigan, but then he's overwhelmed by the fact that Fur rotates in around on top of the small ramp. It's Nico waiting patiently, he has no other choice. Fallen's not able to pick up a weapon yet. It's 2 down and available. 5 AKs in the round, 2 of them on the CT side as well, so watch for headshot potential from them as they walk in. Exactly what Nico's looking for, trying to spray the close wood wall. They will spot Fur. He just needs to stay alive, bait them in a further angle, but he's got not a lot of room to work with. He's Molotov'd out, and Nico has 2 more. Don't let him come alive. That's gonna be scary! Look at the shot on Taco. He's got Cold walking in next, but Cold! Oh my goodness! Line up the hat trick and pull the rabbit from the hat. It's all done. SK get their 4th.
This is what grand finals are about, and this is why we love Counter-Strike. Back and forth action, gambles working out. The force fight from SK Gaming, it's Cold Zero, the victor. A 3-man spray down, just as Nico looked like he secured the round. 2 of the world's best players on the server right now, going at it toe and toe. It's absolutely insane, I love it. Wow.
How sick was that spray after Nico goes absolutely nuts? And Cold able to transfer and nail. They're perfectly lined up as soon as he gets in there.
So
That's
sick.
About as good as it gets. Rain pushed forward toward the fountain. They're going to be aware of it, but he still hits the headshot and turns to find Fur, who can't respond in time. Nico again, a chance to strike and shut down SK early in a round, but it's Taco. The damage done though. 22 for him, 1 for Phelps, and Kio's going to try and sneak through an open door of opportunity. It's going to be Phelps remaining to get the bomb back, but 1 HP against 2. He's got to be perfect from this point on in the round.
Change of pace comes in. FaZe Clan. 2-on-1 now. Phelps, 1 HP. Options limited. FaZe is throwing everything out there. They're looking so much more assertive and confident within themselves now. After losing that previous round, they answer back. Not done quite yet, though. 50 seconds remaining. They're separated. We have got a flank coming in, though. Kerrigan's right behind him. This should be it. He's going to find the frag, and there it is. Phelps seem to be aware, but can't find the headshot there. And FaZe with a quick reset. They're looking very good now in the CT half. That full ninja defuse map brought them to life, got the morale pumped up. And here's the replay of this initial aggression. Rain, he's been so good recently. What an amazing player he is. He's one of the finest players in the entire world. Oh, another force buy from SK. Just don't want to give in just yet, it seems. No recos this time. AK for Cold Zero, of course. Tech 9's P250 is an all-in purchase, down to 0 across the board. Smoke's available, and it's going to be Kiyoshima. He's going to find a lineup. Or is he?
So good, Cold. It's hard to catch him off. Nico's going to try and flash himself back in. There's 2 flashes each way, though. He's fully blinded. So his flash rendered useless as Phelps was actually ahead of it. What a game. Forget who has weapons. As long as someone's got a bit of a force, they're going to have a chance in the round as Phelps able to walk in from bags. Fur will walk off Alu, and we go directly back the other way and keep it within 1, 6-5. Unless Rain can pull back a 1 versus 5. He's got the first kill, but it's highly unlikely yet. I think he's going to bail out. No kit, armor, and an M4 to save.
Yeah, this is turning out to be a real exciting series now, with FaZe finally arriving here in the best of 5, and these force buys working out. So many exciting plays coming through as the B-side execution, pushing through the short Molotov. It's going to be that first frag going in favor of SK. The round unfolds for FaZe overall, and just Rain surviving now. That's actually shifted the economy back the other way. If he says the M4, they'll be forcing back, and guarantee you that. No team wants to allow them to kind of set themselves up, economically speaking. So, Rain towards the bathroom position for now. Try number 11. SK pull one back, 6-5. So, 4 players surviving. And this is looking very good indeed. 2 kills for Phelps. and they managed to pick up 4 weapons. So we'll have a look, and then I can see the buys coming in right now. Max 7 for Alu. He's going all in. CZs as well. Rain does save his M4. Here we go, Matt. Does it happen again? Surely not.
Wouldn't put it past it at this point in this game.
Sure.
Alu with the swag. Maybe Rain jumps up on top of his own smoke, not with an AWP in this case. Quick fire and then backs off. This would be a good time for the slide boost, but he's going to watch for Fallen instead. Has the information. He's out toward long, but Fallen doesn't care. He's going to push down anyway. He's already at second rock. And they'll go for a boost on this side of the map instead. He's not there late this time to catch them off, so if anyone does go through short tunnel, they could see him on arrival and it would just be a straight exchange, but he's got an angle that's not often checked. Usually you've got your crosshair placement on toward the boards jump.
Well, Rain down to 17 HP for now. The gamble towards the A side, 3 players there. And Alu, he's in a world of trouble. That Max 7 can't really find anything at all with that. This should be a round of ever SK. We've seen crazier things happen even in this first half. We'll get down to the 5-on-4 now. Plenty of time to work with here. Execution still plentiful because SK Gaming, 5 smokes available, and they're making their way towards the A side.
Cold makes his way front bathroom. Nico making a lot of noise as he transitions back in the site. Needs to be a bit careful. Don't bring a knife to a gunfight. Apparently he's not going to as he goes to the M4 instead. Good response, Taco onto Kerrigan. That's over toward B, and that's enough for them to signal the alarms and go back the other way. 24 seconds as well on Overpass. You've got to be pretty swift to get back over with that little amount of time. Bomb is going to be dropped over and only in position to go with 16. They're going to have a plant at around 8 seconds, which means they've got to find Rain. He's only got 17, same amount that Taco has, but he's got to be moved back. He could go forward and deny the plant. If he does, that's the round. It's over. Rain does it on his own. Forget it, Nico, just stay alive, and Faze will pick up number 7.
Oh goodness, it actually happened, Matt. It looked like it was going so perfect for SK, but finally they're punished for this slow style. It's Navi-esque from a year ago. That's what we came to expect of them, and it used to work almost every single time, but sometimes some blunders come in, and Rain, he waits at the perfect moment to strike, denies the plant, and you need 4 seconds on the clock to get that down. It's perfect, and Faze answer back. SK will be forcing back though. 2 U Tech-9s and a Galil, a couple of AKs to work with here as well. Still limited on either side. This has been such a great first half. Round number 13. Rain's boosted up. Can't find that first pick though. I think too fast coming in. They're trying to clear a connector, SK so far. No contact as of yet, but CT players at the top and middle. This could be a little bit of a problem for them. They're getting so much intel here, but they could slip behind them. They could just have the whole A side. Look, it's open, Matt. It's happening.
That's amazing.
Bomb could go down.
That's amazing.
They have no idea.
This is such a back and forth game. No one's had a full buy, I think, in the last 5 rounds. And they get the read all wrong. SK this time are going to beat them back. This is almost payback for going into a site that was open last time and having Rain shut them down. So bomb planted already with 4 players still up on the Faze side. Kerrigan's going to grab the M4 off the deck instead. And do they save? Is this the point where you have to admit break? Apparently not. They're still going to go. Shotgun won't land. Cold has information as well that Kerrigan was on the back stairs, but he's lost that duel. Which means Phelps at long. If he loses to Alu, there's a real chance of the retake. That might be gone now.
What is this game? That's so rare. You could see the CD side, they pushed towards middle right, and they just didn't check connector at all. They were just oblivious to it. Tunnel vision, the fact they can get T-spawn, they're assuming, okay, the money's weak. This will be another set piece from SK Gaming towards that B side. We'll get behind them, we'll shut them down before they can even throw their smokes. And they make so much noise while doing it. SK Gaming, 3 players in the connector. They can't believe their luck. They walk into the A side uncontested, and this is just one of the most interesting games I've ever casted. 7-6 now. Of course, Faze forced buy back into it as well. Down to $0. Deagle, CZ. But don't let that fool you, because anything can happen as Volk finds the first kill towards a connected position.
Anything can happen, but SKM slowing it
Here we go.
down could be able to solve these problems. Nice shot from Nico, and Fur's gone again. AK picked up for Keo, and I think we're back to essentially where we've been for all the other rounds now.
Okay then, 4-on-4. Nico alive with the Deagle, anything can happen, you're absolutely right. He finds that headshot. And to play with though, SK still with a huge lead into this one. Rain though, information gathered once again. He could call for his teammate to fall back towards B if he's holding the playground.
Checks off toward the bags. I do like our silent yells. I'm giving them a chance.
Yeah.
Keo's gonna try and strike back. He's getting back into a corner. I don't think Cold's gonna check that. Taco's got the first kill. Where's the exchange? Cold never even swung through, so Keo's gonna be sitting here with Fallen walking in. No one checks in, and Kiyoshima sprays down 2. Bomb dropped on the deck, and FaZe somehow win another force round, this time without any rifles.
I have no words. Unbelievable scenes here in the grand final. Map number 4 delivering on all fronts. The force buys back and forth. No one finding a huge advantage here. The final round has to be a force buy once again. Mistakes are being made at this point. It's been a long series. Positions overlooked. Not being smoked. Look at that scoreboard right now. That's insane. Goodness gracious. B-Rush to finish it off. Carrigan's ready for it.
Back and forth and back and forth. Will FaZe get back-to-back rounds to close the half? Maybe not. Cold here on Perfect, otherwise the spray through. Keo can't land it all onto Fallen. He's put him low, 23, but it's not necessarily enough to close out the fact that he's gonna get a bomb plant out of this, and Keo has to relinquish and go back in toward jungle. Quick short flash, I like the throw. The Fur's ready for it, knows that means they're above him, but can't transition in time. Cold certainly can. He's gonna play the smokes. He's gonna play the smokes almost perfectly. No one looking his direction. He knows Rain slipped up, so he's ready to watch as he walks in from the ramp. But he goes down this time, and Fallen, he's transitioned himself back out toward middle. He's gotta be so perfect. And I think the smoke's wide. I'm not sure if there's a gap there or not. They're both staring into it. They've lost track of him, and unfortunately for him, he's only got the P250. Oh, they didn't see him at first, but Alu's got it. And FaZe will close the half 9-6.
We had 9 back and forth rounds there, no one getting away with it, but finally, FaZe get 2 in a row towards the end. That was one of the most exciting halves of Counter-Strikes we've ever had. It's gonna be 9-6. Matt, I need to catch my breath. I'm sure you do as well. Let's take a quick break and conclude Overpass after this.
Well, not only do we have a final, we have an extremely memorable game on Overpass. A ninja defuse with a mere tick to go in a 1 versus 3. A denial of a bomb plant with 6 seconds on the clock at the time of the kill. And so many force buys, back-to-back rounds.
Yeah, it was looking to be a disappointing grand final, but Carrigan with that ninja defuse, certainly adds fuel to the fire. Let's get into the second half now. 3 sets of armor for Faze, and they've got smokes and molotovs to work with as well. Towards short they go. 4 players, actually all 5 coming towards this one area. This is interesting. A different tactic. I've not seen this before. That's a smoke towards the bomb site, and Taco to receive. Can he hold them off?
Bold's trying to do damage where he can before the smoke goes down. He manages to get Nico. To start, ooh, Fur, massive damage. He tries to flank back in. He's got Halu low. He's gonna try and pursue him. That brings Rain back into the picture. Picture a little bit too vibrant for, unfortunately, Fur to deal with, as Keo will get found out by Phelps. They start to walk in, and Fallen gets Rain. That's the next threat. It's Kerrigan flashed in that has to do something of it, but Phelps finds him, and they know exactly where Alu's gone. Very straightforward for SK. And this has the potential now to go 2 rounds because they get the early bomb plant.
You can say that with bated breath, Matt, because from what we saw in the first half, anything can and will happen in this grand final. There'll be potentially force buying here in the second round. That's a tactic a lot of teams are bringing to the table these days. If you get a number of kills, you can buy up in the second round if you want to. It's quite traditional to buy up in the third, and it looks like they go for the more conservative approach here. I'm not seeing armor purchases. So I'm going to pistols, and Faze certainly still has the potential to make that work. We'll see what happens here. Round number 2. Quite a simple attack towards the B side. 5 players towards short, 1 smoke, flash over, shut down by SK Gaming. And 9-7 is the scoreline. Nico smoked out for now. He'll have to wait a little bit longer before he can start operating with this Desert Eagle.
Smoke down on Monster at a small gap, but it's not a big deal. It's already covered off its intended use. Nico just waiting to see if anyone will push this far, and he may actually get granted with some aggression. Fur. Gets back up a little bit closer. He's made a few steps, so Fur will know that he's outside of the doorway into the playground. He's not necessarily going to go aggressive, but when he does, gets a kill on Kerrigan, responded nicely by Nico in the nick of time because 1 more bullet and he was down.
Contact play towards B, undetected for now. They've made it out of the choke point, and they're going to go towards the bomb site. Plan very probable, round possible. We'll see what happens here as we do have another headshot through the wall. It's not a kill, but Phelps denies the plan for now, at least.
Rain's trying to find a way back to that bomb, but has to consider jungle first. Phelps, shot onto him, won't allow him to get any closer, which means it's down to just Nico and Keo. And they've got eyes on the bomb, 4 HP for Nico. I'd say this is done. He may get a kill out of the 2 red players. There you go.
Careful, SK.
They actually get 2 out of that, but they're just waiting patiently with eyes on bomb.
Yeah, they do not get the plant in, but they're buying up in this next round regardless. They get a couple of kills, dent the money of SK Gaming, and that could be the difference maker here going forward. 9-8, Faze still have to leave for now, but the force buy is coming in. If you get the plant and the pistol, gives you an extra $800 per player. That means you get a round earlier to buy into it. So AK-47s, Carrigan, as usual, he's down to the UMP. He'd always opt to have more utility as he gets the smoke, Molotov, and 2 flashbangs as well. It's round number 18, and 4 players towards the middle of the start from SK, going towards connector, looking for fights here. Alu, we're waiting for them. This is a boost. I think the smoke was thrown incorrectly. They back out of it. That's what they wanted to do. And Incendiary comes in regardless to slow down the T's, and Alu, ooh, jumpy there.
Yeah, why not? Why not just give them help? So we do get the 9-8 scoreline we were looking for. They're going to keep the 2 UMPs. SK talking about Fallen.
This is dangerous now.
He's in a very tight position. He's got help from Long, though. Fallen is there. That helps tremendously because it baits it cold when Rain was trying to jump back out over the top of the benches to catch out the players at Long. Keo spots Fallen trying to return to the site, but he's got a large task to hold off this position if they want to bring the bomb that way, as it's down outside of the bathrooms. And if Fur were to walk forward, he would see that. I'm just going to let Keo sit, contain him. A rat in the cage, Henry. Not much rage either because Phelps is able to get the shot over top of the dumpster.
Yeah, that was the key play there. Kiyoshima stays undetected, gets the kill. If he nails that shot at Long, then we've got an interesting situation. Not so much anymore. 4 on 2, 35 seconds remaining. Bomb still down. First patrolling that area. He's the sacrifice. He's happy to go down and delay as long as possible. If he gets 1 kill, that secures it. Alu has no idea he's there. Simple procedure. Might find both as well. Good job by Fur. Got a bit dicey there towards middle of the start once he fired the first shot and didn't find a kill. Got locked in, but back up from his teammate at Long brings the scoreline to 9-9. We're all tied up here. It's a best of 5 series, currently 2-1 in favor of SK Gaming. This should be an eco now for Faze. Have a look at the score chart as well. Nico, what a series he's had. The team weren't performing the first two maps. He was pretty much the only player turning up, and he's continuing that good form here. 20 frags.
Yeah, and Rain as well. I mean, Rain on Inferno led the way, if I'm not mistaken, toward the end. So those two, we've talked about them being the formidable force on Faze.
Yeah, right.
3 straight finals for Faze since Nico has joined.
That's not bad, is it?
Yeah, return on investment, highest transition ever.
Yeah.
Transaction, I should say, excuse me. Nico thinks about going around the corner. Fur is boosted. Spots him, but too late. M4's got the kill instead, and Phelps back at the site will watch off the other approach to the A position. He's done well here. As they get closer, can't quite take down Alu, but that brings Fur back into the picture. That leaves the bomb on the ground, and it makes it a 1-round game in favor of SK.
That was the eco from Faze, not really much to report. Killing out the map, trying to see if they can get any kills going. One comes in their favor, that's about it then. This is when the game almost begins. We do have a gun round coming in. Okay, Fallen upgrades to the AWP. Had a UMP, I thought, okay, this could still be a little bit interesting considering that, but he upgrades. So now we do have AWP-on-AWP action coming in. Alu without head armor, that's actually a big deal against that UMP and the M4s. We'll see what happens here. He goes towards middle and looking for the first pick. Everyone knows that Fallen likes to be aggressive and won't be there for now. Taco, apparently he does as well as he pushes off towards short, gets himself tucked into the corner there. Phelps patrolling towards the bathrooms. It's a default round from Faze. Alu without any sort of grenades here. Kiyashima lurking towards the B side of the map. Just trying to slowly but surely get some map control. It looks like the focus will be towards long from what I can see right now. Alu edging towards that position.
Fur's gonna wait to try and get baited in. It means Phelps can't commit fully to the bathrooms. He has to be near Park Sign, which he's gone back to now. Still stare down as well through the flames to make sure no one is still approaching in bathroom side after that flame dissipates. Does Phelps have a smoke? No, he doesn't. Okay, he did. He threw it as I said that. Because he's got to buy a bit more space. Because he's now out of utility, this is a good adjustment because they still need to bait in Fur. He wants to watch the position. They bring Fallen over to play Park Sign instead, and we know how good Fallen can be from that position, especially with an AWP. Smoke dissolves! And Fur takes care of both inside of it. Kerrigan gets one in return, but it's Fallen and Fur out toward long. Kiyashima in over toward B. He's the last live bombs down at bathroom. Call it done at this point.
Absolutely. The fact he even gets a kill, it's all for naught, really. He can't do anything about this. He's been taken down right now. Taco have a position, and 2 kills coming in from Phelps. The contact play from Faze, they're trying to slow things right down. The default towards middle control didn't work out for them. Just as that smoke comes down, the double kill with the M4A4. You can see just as the smoke comes in. Oh, that's perfect. That's so well done. And the round just falls away from Faze. And the pause comes in from Kerrigan this time. So I think they are, in terms of money, at about the 3,400,000 mark. Just a chance to work out how they get back into this half. It's 5-0 here. So maximum loss bonus, $3,400 per player. Partial buy from what I can see so far. SK Gaming looking to close this map out and the series become champions here at the Intel Extreme Masters Sydney. What a tournament it's been so far. SK only dropping 1 map in the entire tournament. And the pause comes in, the final buy is here. Tech-9s, Desert Eagles, 3 smokes, 3 flashbangs. Protocol usually go towards the B site, like we saw SK doing. Drop the smokes, get the flashbangs in. If you can get a plant, that's when the Tech-9s become real scary, get up close and personal.
Fast play from Fur and Fallen again. Fur just barely gets there with a flash down. He's going aggressive considering he is up against pistols. Finds one, dinked up, has to be careful from the side peek, right side, there it is. So an M4 down and available. Fallen can't do anything to hold that off from the angle by which he's playing. So there's a gun for Alu, and if it's anything like the first half, it's enough to win a round. So we'll call it 11-10. Cut it now, Henry. Let's
you might as well. Yeah, that's an open shot cage right there. Get 1 gun, you're in. 1 minute 10 remaining now, and up towards middle. That's in the hands of Fallen, of course. Alu has got the M4 there. Looks like, as you can see, they're falling back towards B. We have Alu with the gun at long. So he's going to try and sell something. If he gets 1 kill in his position, we might have an interesting situation on our hands. He can't really do a flank at this point, so I think he goes in towards A by himself. Kills 1, and his teammates are ready to strike at B. Fallen could get caught out here.
He's very good in this position, though, especially up close.
It comes down to the timings, doesn't it? There is an option for Alu to go for the backstab once the bomb's down, but I think in this situation he has to strike first.
Watch B though.
there it is.
Fallen does get Alu down. That should confirm he's alone. But Keo is waiting to try and get in toward Monster. They lost the M4. Rain continues to watch position at connector. He shuts the door to give them a little bit more space as Kiyoshima does work his way in, cold down. If he gets a plant on this, they're gonna have a decent amount of money into the next round, and he could very well do, because Taco has to fall back and give them the space to do so. If he goes down 2 versus 2, they have a real chance. They still have a chance as Rain gets Phelps. That's a gun for him as well. Both on the site. Both have kits. A smoke out. He wants to use that smoke to spray through. How does he hit Taco? Fallen has to get off the bomb, and he sprays back in 7 HP if he walks in at the right time with the M4. He could well find Fallen. He's not moved. He's bought more space, and he's done it, Rain! So well timed, and Faze get back into it. We said one gun, Henry. It is 11-10.
Just when you think it's locked in, Rain, he drops that smoke to give him a veil. He knows I'll be watching that position, but he might just have a chance if he fires through the smoke and gets a little bit lucky. It comes in, and then the worst possible situation. Your Orpa, he's left in the 1v1, time to get away on that bomb, has to switch to a rifle, and just as he does that, Rain strikes and picks up the round, 11-10. And once again, Matt, it's the Tech-9s and 1 rifle, but we're getting straight back into this round. Phelps, aggressive play towards Shaw, finds Nico, and so much damage inflicted. It's in such a chaotic round that Fallen's going to go down as well. It's a 3-on-3. The B-side is open.
And Rain knows the attention has to go back in toward construction. He turns, smokes, and lets Alu go hunting. Careful with the scope timing. He's actually been baited out. That's a dead Alu. Rain's tagged as well onto 16 as a Molotov lands in. There's still a man down in this, but they've got position in reverse. They know that there's a flank coming in. What that does mean, though, is that cold zero at window could have the right position at the right time. Keo's aware of it as well. He has to try and peek Monster, consider sandbags, and not expose himself to the window. It's too much. He gets overwhelmed, and Rain doesn't even consider the position.
What a game. After winning with the Tech-9s there, Rain, we thought he found them a lifeline. Their first round into the second half, but quickly shut down. But they did win an eco mount, and the bomb goes down. So it's not the harshest of resets. You can see right now, we've got the scoreboard up. Alu, $6,000. Rain, he can buy as well. The 3 other guys, buys available, but it'd be like UMPs or Tech-9s. I would say they go for it. They're just working out what's the best possible way. Does Alu pick up the AWP, give them a chance? Look at the scoreboards. 21 kills for Rain. Nico, 20. Now we're starting to get 2 players to any other ones. So that's amazing.
And we've got a look back at something Twitch chat has been asking for what seems like forever. This was the cold spray down. We see it from his perspective. So Nico had a sick round on his own. Taco goes down, and then here comes cold. Oh. 2 straight line and a transfer to the 3rd. So there it is. That's still pretty amazing.
Yeah, you hate and love to see it, depending which side you're supporting. That's beautiful stuff from Cold Zero. 12-10 though. SK Gaming with quite the lead as we get into this one. Looking to extend it as well. Tech-9, 2 UMPs and the AWP. Fallen so close to finding that AWP shot. And it's going to be round number 23 kicking off with a bang. No shots hit just yet, but he spots a few players. Can't make the jump towards the flower bed. We'll see. The Faze. Apparently they probably will get into this with the Tech-9s and the UMPs. Nothing seems to be making sense today.
Absolutely not.
Why does this map always deliver the most memorable moments?
It's ridiculous, isn't it? It's almost sloppy in a way that it plays, but it's so brilliant at the same time. How chaotic it can be based on map control. Alu works his way in, pre-scope, doesn't want to give away any noise. He's got the aim right, but the barrel swallows the bullet. It's still enough damage from Kerrigan to take Taco down. Forces Cold back to a headshot, but he's taken out by Rain. 12-11 on the cards, perhaps. Fallen in a position, or is he? Just shut off the transition of the bomb, but Alu's better. That leaves Fur on his own.
Yeah, we're going the distance here, map. B-side play. Smokes coming in, pushing through. 4 kills found for Faze there. Nothing Fallen can do. He rotates in the 4-on-2 situation. Taken down by Alu. Alu doesn't hit the first shot, but potentially gets the last, as Fur will be saving his weapon at this point. Faze can pull one back. Limited, 2 players on almost nothing. And they managed to salvage 2 M4s here, and you can see here, let's have a look at the SK money. It's been such a factor here in this grand final. So many big rounds given away, and it's a harsh reset. By the looks of things, we can see if Fur saves his weapon, they get $1,400 into the next round. They could probably force around it, they probably will. So Fur drops to UMP, maybe a Famus, and they force with Cold Zeros on 4K as well. I would say it's very likely. It's definitely a gamble. It's a scary play to make, especially when you have the lead right now. They might take a pause to discuss it. So there's a drop 10-4, which suggests it's almost certainly happening. Famus comes in. Fur, are you dropping the UMP? There it is. Smoke's coming through. Oh, you can see they're leaving spawn late. That's why I said take the pause. You need to discuss it. That's like quite a bit of a nightmare to work it all out and how to be the most efficient with the cash. That comes in. 2 UMPs, Famus. 3 UMPs to say, and the M4 from Fur. Lose this round, Faze potentially get 2 more.
Just an insane thought. This late in the game, in a series that Faze of not only to battle back in the last one, losing the lead late, battle back in this one, and we're still looking at a reverse sweep, as that would square us off 2-2.
Well, I said all 5 maps, and I didn't think that'd be happening after the first 2. Phases didn't arrive, but now I just want to see more map. This has just been one of the most memorable maps in CSGO history. Something about IEM that seems to deliver.
It's true. Some of the best finals. Taco sees the door open. He'll call that for Cold, but he still has his attention on the short puck to make sure no one's going to walk in. Jump across. Taco confirms he's there. That's all he wants to do. Get Cold in a position to get both. And the bomb as well. They give up Monster in doing it, so they'll have to get Taco's, UMP in a better position, but Phelps is going aggressive. Kyo finds him to know where he is on the pillar. It's Nico that wants to take advantage of all of this. And Kiyoshima,
hello,
he found 2 kills in all of that. So Nico can actually be the decider in the round, having open back up. Cold in the corner. Common position bomb down. Is it going to be checked by Nico?
25 seconds and the HG grenade strikes now. Nico doesn't have much time to operate. That's going to be it. Cold Zero with the Famus towards that short position as well. Baits this player towards short as he kills one in the squeaky door position. That's beautiful stuff. It was such a gamble to force by into that round, and of course it pays off for them. Such a back and forth game. The money in the bin now for the T's I think is a little bit stronger. And I might have just suggested get 1 player on the Deagle. Kishima's down to the UMP, but overall it's not too bad. 13-11 now in touching distance of lifting 2 trophies in a row for SK Gaming after winning the Summon event. What a return to form that would be.
Fallen's trying to find a shot above the smoke, and as he fires, Fur goes beyond and gets in closer. But it's flashed off. Oh, what a good flash. You could put on Fallen's sunglasses all you want for that, and you'd still be blind. Kerrigan gets the kill. Fallen tries to do anything he can before getting smoked off and has to retreat into the site. Maybe he won't. Maybe he'll play off the back of Phelps. The last time he played next to this smoke, he found 2 kills. He wants to go Snacks-esque. Doesn't want to, Henry. Don't tell him what to do, Henry. He may still. He may just time it. He wants to do it so that when the smoke dissolves, that's when they get the vision. But Rain's ready. Somehow he turned away to avoid it, and that means Cold gets held stationary. He still has Fallen over his shoulder to watch the inside of the bathroom. In fact, he'll flash himself back out. Cold doesn't check into the corner, and Keo may have heard that. Depends on how much the flash noise is going to take away from his hearing in that position as Fallen gets Rain.
Back to B we go, the bomb there. You see Kerrigan setting himself up. A Cold Zera. He equalizes things. It's a 3-on-3 once again after the first 2 picks came in for Faze. They're going to have to finally commit. Taco, can he hold them off? AK in hand, he certainly cannot. Kerrigan, he's going to open up the B site. Cold Zera and Fallen, no kits, but Fallen's coming in fast and looking to shut this down.
Fallen getting closer as Alu has made it into the pit. Cold still has smoke in front of him as Fallen's going to try and do it alone. Has to stay scoped in, making his angle tighter all the while. Kerrigan behind the pillar, and Alu's let him go by. He doesn't know it. Doesn't know it. Sees the gun barrel. Good read. Sees the other. Oh, I thought for sure, but it's still good enough for the trade as Cold brings it to the one-on-one with Nico. And Nico has the advantage. He's far enough away. Smoke down. Cold doesn't think to hold it down. It's not a smoke. It's good enough, though. Does he have the time? I think he does. I'm not sure. It's very, very close. Cold's got it. He's got it. SK get the round.
What? How do they win that round? Fallen delivers every single time, it seems. I thought that was done. There was no chance whatsoever. How do they come out on top? Fallen with a close range kill, so patient, walks his way past the pillar, gets that first kill. It's a flashbang. You fully committed that point, surely, but just enough time. He reads it perfectly. Cold Zera and Nico once again going at it. And it's the last second defuse. Can you believe it? 14-11. That shuts down the money for Faze now as well. Good Lord. The pause has to come in after that. I think we all need a rest.
Yeah, absolutely. That's an immediate pause from Faze. Kerrigan makes the call. 2 rounds for SK.
That's such a sick run. How does he win that?
I thought he was going to hit the drop shot.
Yeah.
I thought he was going down there to retreat.
That's what I was hoping for.
But then he looks and sees it.
I think I would have fallen off my chair if that actually came down. That was so good.
Still enough for Cold to get the kill.
Wow, FaZe have made their decision. Matthew, 3 UMPs.
Wow.
A Desert Eagle and an AK. A full buy against your FaZe.
In this game, yeah, why not, right?
Full buy.
Well, it's Fur and Fallen again that will start off aggressively over toward the front of bathrooms. It's Cold that's going to try and just go for the jump for information. In toward the water. Keep in mind as well by jumping for that information. Yes, he's vulnerable to going down, but he'll find out early on if they have guns or not. They're not looking to push any pressure there at this point in time. Eagle for Nico. I like how he's the one that's willing to take this. We know he's so good with it.
Well, 14-11. All roads lead here for FaZe. They've been so good in these 4 spies. Quite a passive hold from the CTs overall. We'll see whether they can shut this one down, allowing FaZe to have quite the amount of control. It's going to be towards long to middle.
Look at Fur's position as well.
That's so overlooked every time.
It used to be commonly looked at.
Yeah,
That's
no
the thing. It's
it.
gone all full circle at this point. He uses the smoke to get in a better position. In fact, he gets Fallen boosted on it. Kerrigan's going to be the first in the corner. Spots his elbow, and he goes down. SK, 4 kills away from finding championship point. And Fallen's reset and ready, baited this time into a shot, but they won't go on top of it. They'll flash instead. And he won't quite have the vision watch to push it long. It's Fur back inside of the wall. He only gets 1. He's traded immediately, but Fallen's still alive. And he'll strike immediately to make it map and series and tournament point for SK.
15-11. And we thought FaZe could do it again there with the Deagles, the UMPs, and the AKs, but apparently not. They were given so much map control, but Fallen spots him, takes that first player down. Like we said, Fur baited him. Once they get in that corner, it's not being checked. He only gets 1 for it, but it's enough, and Fallen finishes off the job. Championship point, you're absolutely right. It's just pistols this time for FaZe. They've got the nades to work with here. 5 players towards B. This is it now. B rush, be brave, get in there. Let's see if the Deagles can work out for them.
They want to go for the boost. It's Cold they're going to put up. They've lost so much ground inside of the smokes, but he finds a kill immediately. It's rained down. Aloe into the pit, found by Phelps. They get a bomb plant, but it's just the pistols. It's Keo. He's found out by Fallen as well. Just Nico and Kerrigan in the way of SK. A return to form. They dominated 2016. They won Summit, but they've yet to win a Premier in 2017. They've done it now. SK. 8-1 in maps. And they're far from Brazil, but they're well at home south of the equator because they are the IEM Sydney champions. An incredible performance.
They're back. People have been doubting Fallen for the last few months, and what a tournament he's had. An amazing grand final. It started off slow, but FaZe turned it up on Inferno, looking formidable. Nico coming to life, and we got to Overpass, and what a game that has turned out to be.
What a game indeed, what a series, and what a tournament for these guys. SK IEM Sydney 2017.
Final, what a final that was. Watching 2 teams going at it. It's a big old trophy you're gonna have to hold at the same time there. Fallen, we heard Henry, we heard Sadekis talking about it. Are you back?
I guess we're back. I think this tournament was amazing. We played super well. Most people don't know, but we have been through for a lot of difficult time because we lost some couple tournaments and we were doing very bad. So for us, this is like going from hell to heaven. We went back to the drawing board, went back to starting everything again. And I always remember, giving up is easy. What is hard is accomplish everything in life. And once you are on top for one time, it's very difficult to stay there. And becoming the best team again is going to be very difficult, but we'll do it.
Well, you're definitely on the route back up there. I think you talk about the hard work it took. We know the years you've played this game to get to the top. It's almost harder to then lose that position and start again.
Yeah, it's very, very tough to stay at the top. People start looking for your game, the way you like to play, the strats you like to use. So it's an amazing feeling. It's hard to describe. It feels so good to be champions again.
Well, we watched you in the semi-finals and you were good. And you started this set of 5 in this grand final like an absolute train, but Faze came right back at you, didn't they?
Yeah, I think Faze, they're just beasts. They're super good. The talent they have on this team is amazing. So props to them as well. I think it was a great final. This Overpass was a roller coaster. Every time we're trading rounds, you don't see that very often. So very good finals, in my opinion.
You talk about it being a roller coaster. Your adjustments were just perfect. It seemed that every time they tried something, you drilled it.
Yeah, I think that our team could do some reads. We knew the way they could play. And there are some maps where we really studied the way they would play. But on Overpass, for example, it was just our game. We had good reads and good options, good choices, I'd say.
Well, you are the champions of the Intel Extreme Masters. Sydney, the first big event for Intel down here. The first massive esports event as well. Just for a second, say what it's been like playing in front of this crowd.
Guys, Australia is like Brazil. We're very far from competition. And sometimes it's very tough because you don't see the teams very often on your country. But you guys delivered a great show. As I saw in Brazil when the tournaments went there, you guys are a crazy crowd, one of the best. Amazing. So, thanks a lot, guys. You guys made this a great show. We'll never forget this tournament, never forget Australia. It's just beautiful. And just a couple more words. Aussie, Aussie, Aussie!
What a way to finish it. Put your hands there. Oh, one more.
No, in Portuguese, for my friends in Brazil and our entire family. So, galera, obrigado pela torcida. Essa galera pode ter desacreditado um pouco da gente, passando por alguns momentos difíceis. Mas o brasileiro, de verdade, nunca desiste. Esse time aqui é guerreiro. Tamo junto. Valeu, galera.
What a man, what a champion. There you go. SK, they are back to their best. They are champions once again. Put your hands together for your winners, the Intel Extreme Masters champions, SK Gaming!
It was a long and sometimes difficult road back to the top of the podium for SK Gaming, but they have done it. Roster changes, hard times, poor performances and all have shaken it all off, and they have risen back to a little bit of glory at least. Gentlemen, what a series, and especially what a final map. The interactions between the top players on both of these two teams, the 1v1s, the clutches, the very tight situations that both Faze and SK were able to fight themselves out of. We were treated to some CS here today.
I mean, what was that first half? Just rounds being exchanged back and forth. You could see on the scoreboard, no team was able to string 2 rounds together until the very end of that half. And just a lot of clutch situations, high-powered CS. We saw a lot of aggression. That's what we were expecting from these two teams. And for me, the deciding moment, I think a lot of people will agree, was that 1v1 between Nico and coldzera. We were saying about how they're two players who are contending for that #1 spot right now, and Cold managed to overcome him this time around.
So back and forth that whole game, as Yanko, prefaced there. I think that ninja defuse by Carrigan, right? That was an insane play, and at that point it looked like the SK guys were a little bit down when that happened. You hate it to see a blunder like that come out so early, and Faze looked like they were potentially going to run away with it, but SK didn't give up. They kept fighting, and then they got on top of Faze and ran away with a huge lead. And I think there in the end, those adjustments that OJ was asking about, like a perfect example is when that smoke came in at long and Fallen immediately boosted over to find a pick based off something which is just meant to shroud and force rotations. It's just like everything was clicking, everything was going right for these guys, and amazing grand final.
I think something that SK had and Faze didn't, at least to that extent, was mid-round aggression yet again, and mid-round movements on the CT side. You could see how SK at times, when the round starts, you think, oh, Faze has a great reader going A, SK stacking B, but SK realizes because there's no sound cues being made, there's no action towards that bomb side, they just rotate Fallen back towards the A side. I think that was exactly the round when he went for the boost. They rotate him back, they get the advantage back into their hands, and just seeing for the better part of that game, they were one step ahead of Faze strategically.
And this is that transitional defense you've been talking about, Chad, especially on the CT side, the ability to fall back. But it wasn't just falling back for SK. In a few occasions, they also knew how to generate some aggression in tight spots, especially Fallen going for some of these picks. But how much of this game was dominated by individuals just going nuts?
Cold and Phelps definitely were huge standouts, and it was the battle of, I guess, those two versus Nico and Rain on the other side. And back and forth rounds, a lot of clutches coming in from both players or both sets of players, and it was obviously a team effort. But when you see two guys going at it, and so the disparity between the score, it just becomes that, like, it just title fight, I guess, to see who the best player in the world is there. And it was amazing to have that back and forth continuously.
And you look at that 1v1, because that kind of in the end decided the game. It was Nico who actually made a misplay there, because when you look at just generally, objectively, how much time there was left, if he waited an extra second, he would have won that round even after dying. I guess it was maybe the pressure that got to him, or maybe he wasn't aware of the time that much himself, but he went in too soon. If Cold Zero, that's his only way basically to win the round. If he sticks the defuse, after 3 seconds, Nico can just peek. If Cold Zero is not defusing, he has no time to go back to it, and if he is, Nico can just get the kill. So unfortunate for Faze that happened, but they've had their fair share of clutches won. I mean, that half buy where Rain clutched the 1v2 in the end against Fallen actually was also pretty insane.
Big moments all around, you know, that spray down that we unfortunately missed. We got it there in the end, but from Cold Zero in that 1v3 situation, that really bolstered the rounds for SK on that T side, right? It could have been a 10-5 half for Faze there, even better if they had managed to grab that one. But I guess that's the way to look at this match, is just the back and forth, the clutches, great way to finish.
The SK earlier on in this year, the SK that was falling out of the group stages in major Counter-Strike tournaments, and the SK we see now on the stage, what are the biggest differences between the two? Because it's clear to see that they've come a long way from that form earlier in the year.
I think they've basically switched back to their old play style, right? We said it time and time again. The difference between FNX and Phelps is significant. FNX is a team player. He will do whatever the team needs. He has his positions, has his roles. But Phelps is a playmaker. He needs space. He needs to have the ability to, you know, do something that maybe looks silly, but because of his game sense, he realizes that there's a potential opening. And the problem was for SK initially, he was being allowed to do that too much. Like the rest of the players couldn't really react properly. It didn't make sense all the time. And him doing it in Immortals was one thing. In SK, now everyone's going to study your play. Everyone's going to see what your tendencies are. So after those two basically failures that they've had in Katowice and Kiev, they said, okay, like this cannot go on. We need to go back to what made us #1. You will still have some room to do your thing, but we need to look at the way what's best for us to play as a team. And at the summit, sure, the competition wasn't as high, but here they've definitely proven that they're on the right track, at least, to get back to that #1 spot.
I mean, 2070 is shaping up beautifully here. Let's get some final thoughts from you guys now, as well as what's next for Faze moving ahead. Astralis have been dangling that major trophy in front of them for a while, and they're going to be hungry for it. So where to for now for Karrigan's Mavericks?
Yeah, I think this is a chance where they can go back and readdress some of the, not issues, but maybe start to look at other teams. Obviously, they have a winning recipe to beat Astralis at the moment. That rivalry is going to continue no matter what. It's maybe just looking at now, SK, we didn't consider them a top dog of this level until they were able to re-emerge here. The fact that SK now have cash in their map pool was also a bit dangerous for Faze, you know, something they probably weren't expecting. But for them going forward, it's not as easy as, you know, just go back to the grind. They're still played amazingly. Obviously, there's a few little issues here, there, and everywhere that they can fix, like the mistakes of pushing on the CT side when they had those man advantages. But in terms of the unit, it's only little things they have to fix. They're still a contender for #1.
Well, gentlemen, that about wraps things up here as well. Quickly, for those that are watching, if you saw the show match earlier on, it's a little bit off topic, but there is a punishment awaiting one particular big mouth pom. I'm not going to give it away yet, but you should stick around to see how that one goes out. Gentlemen, thank you so much for being with me over this week. It's been fantastic. We really have delved into some of the best CS that I have seen in quite some time, and Sydney has played host to it as well. And on a personal level, 2 years ago, I left Australia in search of great esports experiences, and I wish I knew that all I had to do to find them was to come home. Thank you so much, Sydney. Thank you so much, everyone that's been watching at home. IEM Season 12 is going to be fantastic. 2017 is going to be a great year of Counter-Strike, and we hope you join us for the ride. Good night, and see you next time.
Revenge and Henry G. And this was all based on whoever lost it ended up going in a pie bath, which is what we've just sprayed here lovingly. So, Henry, talk us through what's about to happen.
Fuck you all, God save the Queen.
Whoa! Whoa, okay, so let's get a countdown. Let's go for the big countdown. Let's go from 10. Then that man is going in this pie bath. 10! And that is the way you end a grand finals. Good night. You have been amazing. Thank you so much. I can tell you this will happen again. Give yourselves the biggest round of applause for being the best motherfucking crowd we ever had.
До самого конца, но время-то идет, бомба поставлена.
3 в 4. Фейза, с одной стороны, понимает, что у противника был очень плохой бай, но теперь-то у противника калаши, наверное, есть смысл засейвить, но он выбивает Ника, забирает Фера, хороший смог на зигзаг, разваливает Фалина, остается у нас Така, вместе с Колдира, Така выходит, умирает на монстре, а последний Колдир в той же позиции, его здесь не ждут, он жмет и кол! 3 минуса! Вот это жесть! Как же круто он зажал! Вот это...
Здесь до самого конца, но время-то идет, бомба поставлена.